Hi, welcome to Take 5. We're here at St. Stephen's Episcopal in Wimberley, Texas, the chapel, and we are so delighted that Father Phil Mason is going to be here showing us his flutes today.
Thank you, Alan. Actually, I might actually play one.
Oh, well, there you go.
Never know. So these are Native American style flutes. Some might say that some of them are in the Navajo tradition, but I don't know how important that is. But what is to know is flutes like this or similar to this have been found in architectural sites that are millennia old.
Wow.
So human beings have been making sounds with instruments somewhat like this for a really, really long time.
Cool.
And I've heard so many times people say that when they hear the flute played, that it touches the heart. There's something about this. I think it might be something about the wood. All of these are of a different wood. Most of them, some are the same. And most of the traditional flutes are 5-hole flutes. This one, which is my favorite, has 5 holes, and it's the pentatonic scale.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know what that is better than I do.
I failed music theory.
You failed music theory? Okay. So some of them have 6 holes, but traditionalists kind of frown on that. And oftentimes somebody will take a thing like this and cover up one of the holes so it makes a 5-hole flute out of it. That's kind of what I do most of the time. So let me just play a little bit on each one. Alan had a question about the little birdies that are on it, though.
Yeah, you've got some birds, you've got coyotes.
Yeah.
Is there anything of any significance there on those?
You know, I think the significance of what is put here would vary according maybe to tribe or the flute maker, him or herself. But that piece is very, very important. See, here's one that has no particular shape to it at all, you see. But the placement of this piece on the flute is critical to the sound. If it's out of place, you would get a sound that you really would not want to hear. So that's it's a very important part of the function of the flute. And these holes are cut in the flute in certain places to tune the flute to a certain key. I don't remember what this one is. I'm thinking F, but I can't remember. Somewhere in G is a popular one. So the flutes are tuned. Some better than others according to who made it. Now this flute is I can't remember where I got this one, probably in New Mexico somewhere, is made of cedar. And it's rather thin cedar. One feature of it is it's all one piece. Many of them are 2 pieces of wood. But this has a very unique sound of the cedar. It's kind of, we'll see what you think it sounds like. To me, it has kind of a reedy sound. It sounds a little bit kind of reedy. It sounds light, and the flute is very light. This one is much longer, so it's going to have a lower tone to it. I'm thinking this is maple. And if you could see it, I don't think you can see it, but there's a seam that goes right down here. So the flute maker made this in 2 different pieces, 2 pieces glued together. Probably it was glued together before it was turned, but I don't know. I don't really know. I love the sound of this flute. It's rather hard for me to play because the holes, especially these two, are big. And one thing about one of these flutes, if you don't cover that hole perfectly, it sounds really bad. You may have heard when I was playing the first one, there was a couple of sounds that came out that I wasn't proud of. And I think that not covering the hole perfectly does that. Let's see what this one sounds like.
Much more mellow sound.
Much more, very mellow sound. It's a really pretty flute. I've got this one this was a tune in F. I got it from a maker in Taos, and I really like it, but it's hard to play. This one's kind of fun.
I love the carvings on it.
Yeah, this came from a flute maker in the Taos Pueblo in New Mexico. The Taos Pueblo is a place where the indigenous people attempt to live very much like they have for many, many centuries. It's a nice little flute, and you can do fun things with it.
Sounds like birds.
Yeah, little birdie sounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cute little flute. I like to play it. It's cedar also.
Mm.
Yeah, cedar.
And it appears to be in one piece too.
Yes, it is one piece. It would make you wonder how they made that hole.
Yeah, especially with the carving and everything the way it is.
Yeah. So that's that one. Now here's one that really caught your eye.
Yeah, that one's kind of odd.
It's a little odd. Let's see what happens when you play this. Pardon me. See what I mean when you don't cover the holes just right?
So my biggest question is, why have you been hiding this one on Sunday mornings?
Yeah. Well, you know,
that is fascinating.
It is fascinating. It's definitely not traditional.
No.
I've seen one that had three.
Oh, wow.
But this is a drone. As you saw, it only played one pitch, and it's a little bit like a bagpipe. And maybe part of my prejudice is I don't like bagpipes very much. So if somebody would make a note, not at my funeral,
Not to have back. Okay.
please.
Duly noted.
Yeah. But it's fun to play. It really is fun to play. I'll bring it again someday. This one is the first flute I ever had. I had this notion I wanted to learn to play these some years ago, I guess about 20 years ago. And one day Susan and I were in Santa Fe at the hotel, and there was a fella down in the lounge, the bar, you know, and he was playing. He had a few flutes, and he was quite a good player. And I just asked him, I said, where can I buy a really, really good flute? And he said, well, nowhere. And he said in a certain tone of voice, nowhere in New Mexico. He said, the only place I know around here you could get a really nice flute is in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, where there's a flute maker that makes flutes for Carlos Nakai and all those wonderful flute players. And so I was living in Colorado at the time, and in the Denver area, and I looked this guy up, and sure enough, he had a big shop in the basement of his home. Colorado, everybody has a big basement, you can dig there. But, and he was making these flutes out of beautiful, beautiful wood. This is an African wood that, strange to make a Native American flute out of African wood. It had the name of the wood, I could never pronounce it, and it's almost as long as the flute. Yeah, in 16-point type. So, and you can see here where the tuning, there's the little holes there. Those tunings has nothing to do with playing it. They have to do with precise tuning of it. But it doesn't play well with others. It's not tuned perfectly to G. Sometimes Tom Dawson and I will play together a little bit, and he will tune his guitar to the flute. But none of these play well with others, really. It doesn't usually work out. This one has a very, very, very beautiful tone.
I like that one. I like that.
It's
That's
lovely.
pretty.
Yeah. So that's all I know to say. Do you have any questions, Ellen? What do you think?
I like them.
I like them too.
Each one has a different personality.
They do. They have a
It's
very
interesting.
different personality. Every one. I have a couple more at home, and they're the same. They have different personalities. It's always been my pleasure to play it in the church. I have played in church services for quite a long time. I get calls, people to want me to come play.
Well, you have to start using the double one now.
I'll do that. I'll do that. I will do that.
Alrighty, that is take 5 for today. We're so glad you joined us. We're here every Thursday at 10 a.m. Central. Please be sure to share the video with your friends and family on Facebook. See you soon.